things happen after you built the lead that happened in other games, does that make it doubly frustrating? Because you've made a point of emphasis at cleaning up.
Yeah, just my heart hurts for the guys in the locker room because they've battled through a lot to get to this point, and you see them having success, and I got to do a better job as a coach, along with the staff, of helping them to make the transition to understand that when you have success, man, you can't take your foot off the gas, you can't become complacent. Every play, every drive, until the game's over, you got to be looking at how can I get better, how can I improve, how can I rely on my fundamentals even more, and I think that's where I got to grow this football team up, is helping them to understand, man, you don't press, you don't change, man, you just focus more on the little things. Where does my second step need to go? Where does my hand placement need to go? What's my communication? And I think sometimes when you're having success, it's easy to let those things go, and then you think that, hey, it's just going to happen, and then it doesn't happen. What I told them is we're learning some very hard lessons as a football program. That football, man, it's a hard game, and it only gives you what you earn. It doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you earn. And if you have 11 penalties and you don't execute, then you're going to get what you earn. And unfortunately, when you have those things, typically that earns you a loss.
With Malachi, what was the reaction to his catch in the end zone, Hail Mary, and then why did no momentum carry over to the third quarter?
Yeah, good question. I thought the guys had a good presence in the locker room, and there was a ton of excitement coming out. But one of the things that we're learning, and I'm challenging these guys to internalize, is that energy and passion alone don't win this game, right? It takes a tremendous amount of focus, attention to detail, commitment, poise, all of those things, as opposed to just, pure emotion. And so, I thought the guys came out understanding what we needed to do, treating it as a 0-0 ball game that we got to go win the second half. But unfortunately, it didn't carry over, and that's on me. And I got to figure out how to do a better job of helping them be able to put a complete game together. And that was the focus for us this week. Is, man, don't worry about the outcome. Let's just go play a complete game. Offense, defense, special teams, all doing their job, playing complementary football. And we did some good things in the first half, but we just we didn't finish.
What was your assessment on Tony Musket on his first start since
It's just he showed the competitive spirit that he has. I mean, I was anxious to see how he was going to pull the ball down and run. And I thought he showed no hesitation, no fear. Even saw him, lead with that shoulder a couple times. I thought he made some big-time throws. I thought he still competed when we weren't able to protect him cleanly. There late in the game, man, he's fired up. He wants to go for it on fourth down and try and go win the game. But I had to make some coaching decisions there. We'll look at the tape, and I'm sure there's going to be things to clean up. But just overall, I like his leadership. I thought his poise showed. I thought his competitive drive showed. He showed the ability to make plays with his legs and with his arm.
There was a play in the fourth quarter, a sequence. It was 4th and 4 from their 37. It ended up working out for you because you punted and got the touchback, and they turned it over the next play. But did you think about going for it there?
Yeah, I think.
How much did you think about it?
I think there was like 10 minutes left. Yep. There was like 10 minutes left in the game, and I said, that in that situation, with the way the things have been going in the second half, I didn't want to give them a short field, a little bit out of field goal range for us. So I was hoping that you could pin them inside the 5. And then the next thing you know, you if you can force a punt, then you get good field position with an opportunity to go score. So I was trying to play field position there, didn't quite execute the way we needed to.
I know you don't like making excuses, but on the defense side of the ball, there's been so many injuries, so many veteran guys hurt. How much is it more when you look at the third and fourth quarter performance, more about the depth concerns than anything else, and how do you kind of evaluate that?
Yeah, we're not going to make any excuses. I mean, next man up. I mean, that's another, reality in football. It doesn't matter, because the team on the other side, they're not going to say, oh, you're down to playing, freshmen, and we're going to back off. No, they're going to turn it up. So, you know, our guys got to be ready. You know, we're finishing Game 5, going into Game 6. You know, so they've gotten some reps, both mentally and physically, and then we got to go out and execute. And you know, at the end of the day, who we run out there is who we run out there, and we got to go play, and we got to find a way to get stops. We got to find a way to win.
Do you have an update on Dre Walker and Malcolm?
Yeah, I haven't gotten a full assessment yet. I know that he wasn't able to come out in the second half. I know it's a knee. I'm not sure the extent. They didn't indicate that it was overly serious, but I won't know that until we get back and get a good evaluation back in Charlottesville.
Do you expect to get some of the guys back?
Man, I hope so. I mean, Cam Butler's he's done for the season. Had surgery on might have been, was it yesterday? It was 2 days ago. I think it was Thursday. He had surgery on Thursday, so he's done for the year. I mean, hopefully we'll get Paul Akiri back with the long-term option that Clary decided to go with. I mean, it will be late in the season, maybe last couple games before he's even cleared to be ready to go. We hope Lex Long will be within the next week or two. Smiley should be good to go, so we should get Smiley back next week. So I'm anticipating that we get Lex, we get Smiley back next week. Don't know Andre yet, and then I'm trying to think of who else. Is there anybody else?
Well, Malcolm got hurt.
Yeah, Malcolm, and that looks like it's going to be a couple, probably at least a week type deal. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we get good news on their young man, that went down. Definitely a scary moment. Looked like he had some movement in his extremities, and so hopefully prayers up for him that he's okay, and it was just a precaution that they had to take him off the way they did.
How do you get your run game going?
Yeah, great question. You want your backs to carry the load, but it comes down to fundamentals, footwork, hand placement, eye discipline, communication. You can see that we're running against some loaded boxes with extra defenders, but also, we had way too many guys turn loose in the backfield, and so it comes down to individuals trusting their coaching, trusting the technique that Coach Heff is giving them, and then trusting, and then backs being disciplined with their tracks, not trying to do too much, not trying to hit the home run, taking the base hit, and eventually, in my experience, when you can go for 4, go for 6, go for 7, before eventually it's going to break, and you're going to break the long one. But I think sometimes, you can press and try to make the big one, cutting back too early, right? Not having your eyes where they need to be. So, we're just going to go back and evaluate it, because I want to run the football. And that was a point of emphasis, for this game, was to run the football. And then structurally, I thought they did a good job of mixing it up. Typically, they played a lot of their 4-down structure, but they did a good job with their game plan of starting in their 4-down structure and then stemming to an odd and standing up one of their ends, just trying to mess with your points, seeing that structure usually is a little bit more disruptive than just sitting in a stationary 4-down.